Hi, this is Paul. Welcome to Escape's Daily Podcast. When you wake up in the morning, do you feel unhappy, uninspired, or angry? Like almost every time? If you do, then you might be in a negative cycle. Come, let's take a moment and talk for a while. You can find both good and bad in the world. Depending on where you are now, depending on the people around you, or just depending on how you feel at the moment. This dictates how you see the world. The world is like a jungle. And just like the jungle, it contains animals and surroundings that can be dangerous for you when you are trying to live in it. There are animals that are harmless to one another, and there are those who prey on another. The jungle can be a very bad place for those who are ignorant on how to live in a jungle. It can be a bad place for those who don't know how to navigate through it. Finding the safe path is very tricky. The terrain can be dangerous. The weather can be ugly. And there can be dangerous creatures hiding behind trees, stones, or in the water, ready to cause harm to you when you least expect it. The world is a jungle. It is not always pleasant and pretty to live in sometimes. There are times in our lives where we are just surrounded by negative things, negative people, negative events that affects us and may cause harm in our mental state. The world is not like the old times anymore, where people interact only within their own communities. Today's world is much bigger. With the advent of the internet, borders are broken, and people can now interact with each other like they are just right next door. Different races, religions, and cultures suddenly got mixed up. The small jungle that humans once knew just became a billion times bigger. This change is beneficial for the most part, but sometimes harmful. It can be harmful if you are not prepared, or if you just go in without even thinking of the possible outcomes of what you are trying to get into. In a world where social media is taken in daily, every hour, every minute, this greatly affects how our mind is influenced. With today's social media algorithm, it feeds us content that we usually view, watch, or listen. This is useful because you won't be seeing things you don't find relevant too. The question is, what type of content are you feeding your mind? Take a step back. Stop and try to see what contents are you usually seeing. Ask yourself if you feel happy after an hour of browsing through your social newsfeed. Ask yourself what you feel. Do you feel anxious? Do you feel sadness? Do you feel anger? Do you feel these almost every time? These are all negative thoughts, and it's worth taking a step back and try to change or manage it. Try to review the things you see in your feed. If you see anything that makes you feel a negative emotion, see if you can unfollow that page or person. You can either do this at once, or you can do this gradually every time you get the chance to scroll through your social newsfeed. Be mindful of pages and people who keep feeding you these negative information or news. In a jungle, there are places where we find peace, and there are places where we find it unpleasant. The natural thing to do is to distance yourself from those places. In the same way, we should distance ourselves from pages and people who just makes us feel these negative states of mind. If you find to see a feed from a friend that makes you feel negative, try to click on that person's profile and see the last couple of posts he or she shared. If all, if not most of them promotes negativity, you may just have to consider unfollowing that friend. The good thing about unfollowing a friend, at least in Facebook, is that it doesn't notify the person that you unfollowed him or her. We don't necessarily want to hit the unfriend button and cut off the friendship or connection to that person, since people change through time. News media outlets or news pages usually are the culprits for most of the negative emotion we feel, since all of them prefer to share information that makes us feel alarmed, worried, and angry. You might just want to hit the unfollow button on those pages. They have their own separate websites anyway, where you can go to when you feel like you want to get updated with current events. You don't need to be alarmed every hour of their news updates. We live in a modern world. I don't believe that social media will go away in the future. At least, not in a few decades. Whether you like it or not, we are living in this portion of the jungle called the internet. And for us to live peacefully, safely, and happily in it, we need to know how to survive. We need to know what tools we can use and what places we need to avoid. Cleaning up your social media newsfeed is like taking a bath after you fell into a puddle of mud in the jungle. Clean up your social media newsfeed. Dive in the water. Take a bath, and after you're done swimming in that cool, refreshing water, perhaps you won't feel unhappy, uninspired, or angry the next time you wake up in the morning. This is the end of part 1 of my Staying Positive in a World of Negative series. If you like this episode, consider giving it a like or a thumbs up. If you feel that there is a person that needs to hear this, please feel free to share this with your friends. I would really appreciate it. If you wish to hear more of my daily podcasts, consider hitting that subscribe or follow button. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this podcast. Please feel free to comment down below or message me through my Instagram at escape_TV or through my email tv.escape@gmail.com. This is Paul of Escape's Daily Podcast. Thank you for listening and have a great day ahead.